Hi, thank you for taking time off your busy schedule to listen to my presentation today. As promised, I would like to share more about the unique features that AdParlor has to offer for your agency, Havas, and of course your advertisers such as Singtel. So now let's go into the platform for a closer look. So upon logging in, you will actually be flashed onto the summary board. So this summary board is actually meant to show the performance of the advertisers that's currently running on the platform in AdParlor. It also gives you the breakdown of matrix across for your advertisers across different publishers um, such as like sorry such as like individual Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and such. So if you notice, for this advertiser overview, you can see how much is being spent. A particular campaign when we selected based on you can actually it will show actually which are the campaigns that's currently running, and of course you can select based on the different time, different day, and of course you can include the fee in the spend matrix or without the fee. So like for convenience, for more real time that the client will know exactly, for you as the agency will know exactly how much you have spent on top of the fee, will actually be good to include it. So if you notice that the spend has is actually currently is at 1,100, so you can of course click on the number of impressions and the CPM that's being served. So you know that for this particular campaign, we have served a total of about 1 million impressions, and the CPM that we obtain is about 99 cents. And of course, you can also determine based on the engagement wise, how many engagement has we obtained and what's the CPE base. And of course, as well as the conversion. So for that, you can actually also scroll down and see that you can actually, it can also be determined by individual top campaigns that's being performing by selecting either the conversion with fee, impressions, engagement, and such. So when we do that, it will actually show you the number of impressions, the CPM that we obtain, and so on and so forth. And as well, it will show you the placement summary, which particular placement has actually spent the most in terms of obtaining what are the reach like, the frequency number, the impressions, the engagement, the conversion, etc. So do note that this particular summary board is not actionable. Therefore, it brings us to our next feature, which is known as the actionable reporting tool. So based on that, you can see that when you click onto Facebook and Instagram as one of the campaign, it will actually show you the campaigns that is currently running, the stats, whether is it delivering, the campaign ID, of course the flight details, the objective of the campaign when you set it up, the daily cap, whether you have cap, the lifetime cap, and of course other metrics involved. Of course, as such, you can actually select based on different time period as well when you want to showcase this. For demo purposes, we'll click onto all time to show you all the campaign that's being ran. And of course, you can actually select individual different matrix, different status, such as like whether it's an active campaign, is it a pause campaign, deleted, archive, or all. So for campaign, for convenience, we'll select active and pause. So if you notice from that, we can actually analyze individual ad images. We can actually manage the campaign. You can manage the ad sets and such by going into a custom reporting. So when you have done that, example now we would like to analyze the ad sets involved. So upon clicking that, you will actually generate the ad sets involved, and from there you can actually make edit based on your requirement. You can actually make edit based on campaign level, ad sets level, or ads level. So example, we would like to edit it based on ad set level. So what you do is that if you notice, based on the 3 images that I've selected, there are total 13 ad sets that we are editing here. So you can actually edit the status to actually means you can actually choose what status do you want this ad sets to have. So you can have it pause, active, as such. Or you can actually edit the bid based on like if your objective is based on like engagement. So you can actually buy based on impressions, and of course the minimum amount that you want to do, or you can have it automatically, which at Parler and Facebook will actually optimize it on your behalf. So you can set a budget, a daily budget, a lifetime budget. You can of course determine the date to start and the date to end. So with all that, you can actually edit the ad sets here and optimize your campaign, which will actually beat the campaign if compared to using native tool, because it's actually way faster. On top of that, it actually provides you, Ad Parler actually provides you a more granular data and insights to each individual ad sets. So you will know that how your campaign, how the ad sets has performed for each individual line items that you have created. So from there, it will actually lead you to another portion, another feature, which is actually an ad creation feature. So what we can do is that you can go to the Facebook, you can click onto the Facebook icon. Now we want to create a campaign using in Facebook. So we can select one of the campaigns, the advertiser and the campaign that we want to do so. So by doing that, what we'll do is that you can actually, it's very similar to the native tool. So whatever that you have, all the features that's available through Facebook Power Editor is also available through Ad Parler. So from here you can notice that we can, how do we actually add value? So if we're always telling you that you can find this on the native tool, but Ad Parler can also find it there. So how do we actually value add? So we actually value add by figuring out how Ad Parler can actually perform way more effective and efficient, but allowing you to create multiple ad sets at a way shorter time, and you can target in bulk, which makes the process easier rather than using the native tool, which is more time consuming in order to even set up one particular line item. So how we can do it? So what we can do is that we can actually, for the ad placement, you can actually determine where you want to place your ad at. Of course, the geography that you want to do so you can actually say target Singapore as a country. And from there, you can actually determine the age group. So example, say we're only targeting 18 to 30 years old. So of course, individual age will slightly behave differently. So when we have already created the basic demographic, so you will notice that there's a target summary at this particular portion. It will actually tell you the estimated targeted people that is currently falling under the ad placement of desktop, mobile, right hand, and of course the user that is being found in Singapore based on the age group that we have selected. So we can also break it up into 2 different genders, and of course specify the language that you want to use. And determine the device that you want to target. And of course, we can also divide it, because most of the advertisers will want to tell you, hey, I want to specifically target a certain interest. So we have 2 types. So one is either the Facebook interest that is being suggested, or you can actually key in your own suggested interest. But for easy demonstration purposes, we'll just click in entertainment, and of course sports and outdoors. So it's actually what we are actually sharing is like, this is like you can be targeting for your sports channel. And of course from there, then you will notice that the number of people that is currently targeted has changed from earlier 900,000 to now 740,000. So it will actually show you that this is based on what, the right hand column will actually show you that this is what you have selected earlier, and of course including the different interest breakdown that Facebook has suggested. And from there you can actually generate the group. Upon generating this particular portion, you can actually make changes to it. So you can actually like change your ad set name, define your delivery pacing. your budget for each individual ad set, and of course the flight date that if you want to change. You can also change your optimization matrix, such as like it's either link click, impression, engagement, post engagement, or CPC. You can set the campaign, pause, or active. And from there, you can actually create all the ad sets involved. So what we can do is that we can go to create the ad sets now by designing our post. So example, you would like to have like a link to it. Of course, maybe watch a video with it, and of course a learn more button for people to find out more, to learn more about it. So you can actually enter your message, such as and this particular portion on the right hand side will actually straight away generate the preview for you. You can actually type in also the URL that you would like to use. And you can have a link headline. And of course, finally, you can of course add in an image that you want to use for this particular campaign. So as such, you can actually select different images involved, such as this, and half. Okay. Once done, you just have to add it in. So upon adding in, the right hand column will actually automatically generate the view. And you can actually preview it differently based on different placement involved. So you can select the image and then see how it's different in each individual settings. And of course, you can actually use individual as ad groups to individual existing posts to use for your new campaigns as well. So like for this instance, we'll use So while it's loading, what we can share with you is that with this ad creation tool features, it actually allows you as an agency to create different targeting groups and ads in bulk. So in Ad Parlor, we create and permute targeting groups with a few clicks and bulk fill entries when you upload. So we can actually do the same with creative with different ads, and then we can mix and match during the ad creation. Taking a little bit long, so maybe we'll just close this off. So what we'll do is that after that, you can actually go ahead, go back to the creating ad sets, and we try. So from here, you can actually see the convenience of getting all the ad sets done up within the ads creation tool. So generally for now, I will not generate this new 9 posts. This new 9 posts is because this is actually currently linked to our Acknowledge Facebook. But for your case, you can actually decide whether if you want to do that. So with all the ad sets created and creating the ads, you can actually publish it accordingly. So we'll go to the next point, which is actually the ad intelligence that we can actually provide you when it comes to the campaign, at the campaign level. So what we do is that we can actually, if you are testing, so because you have many ads creative that usually every client will create like a few in order to start out with. So what we can do is that we can actually help the clients to test the creative based on the campaign and see which one actually perform the best. And this is one of the best features that we can offer, because you can use the data provided to create new creative that is very similar for the target audience that has performed better for this current campaign or for the next upcoming campaign. So how we're going to do it is that, let me do some basic demonstration for you. So what we can do is that for Ad Intel, so you can notice that these are all some of the existing tag category that we have done up for. But if you want, you can actually create your new one based on the category either we have set it up for, or you can actually do your own. So if you set up a new category, and then of course you have to add some tag names to it, then you can click Add. If not, you can use the existing ones that we have provided. So upon that, so how we can actually utilize this Intel tags is actually through the actionable reports that we can actually, that you have to do it through the data, the particular ad sets itself. So now what happened is that we're going to go back to the ad sets. So now we're going to select the tags that we want to do. So how we can actually tag all the ad sets by selecting all the ads that you want it to tag, and we can managing it by going to the bulk action and choose the text to add. Example, now we want to add the background based on white. Then we can actually save it. So upon getting it done, what we'll do is that we will actually have to go back. So if we want to see how exactly this is being done, we can actually go to report it by choosing on a category such as like the background that is white, and of course the name of the particular tag that we have tagged earlier. So by generating it in the same tag, you can actually see this is actually the tag that's being tagged. So from here, you can actually notice that you can actually, of course, sort by whichever giving you the best performance, say based on spend, based on impressions, and based on CTR, so on and so forth, which with all the matrix that's being offered here. So from here, you will notice that. So from here, you can actually notice that how effectively and efficiently that each individual creative has actually performed based on the campaign itself. So as such, we'll go to the last, which is also one of the very unique features that AdParlor has to offer, which is actually our content profiling. So how can we do that for content profiling? So what we can do is that so for clients like Singtel and such has a lot of videos campaign that they want to run. So with that, we have actually in AdParlor allow the Singtel client like yourself to help Singtel to actually do the buys on their behalf by like targeting specific profiles that we have created, such as automotive, technology, gaming, science, travel, and such. If not, you can actually create a new profile based on your preference. By example, adding in the profile name such as, let's say Singtel Sports. So you can select the language that you want. You can restrict it to the country. Of course, publish date, you can actually choose either publish before or after. So if not, of course, you can actually select the kind of video duration that you want to target. Say you only want to target, say, anything below 1 minute, less than a minute. So the minimum, you can also set the minimum views. So example, you don't want to target the videos that has nobody watching. Say you want it to be at least, like, say, 250,000 views in total. Then you can save it. So upon saving it, so you can actually put in selected keywords that you want to use. For example, like football, soccer, baseball, say David Beckham. So you can actually add them to the words that you want to include. So of course, from there you can of course select the target, the kind of topic that you want to target as well. So you might want to target on sports related, and you can search. And at the same time, you can of course target selected videos if you have the URL, or you can actually select the channels also, the kind of channels if you know. So example, based on what we have written earlier on sports, based on the topic, you can actually add in this like the athlete, the arena, the sports channel, the coach involved. So you can have ESPN. Of course, this is all very important for you. So you can actually select the topics that you want based on the list that's being generated. So every time you key in a keyword, AdParlor will actually help you to generate the kind of topic that might be very close to what you want at heart. And from there, we can of course exclude certain category, such as like you do not want to have anything to do with say foreign, and of course horror. Some people do not want it like based on like non-profit organization, news and politics and such. So you can have all this and then you save it up. So upon saving, so you will notice that we do have a table bar to tell you that it's being done or not. So after it's done, all you need to do is to run. So we will actually submit it and then you will actually run. So by running it, we'll actually have a status bar to tell you that we are preparing for the videos. So some of the history here is, like personally, I have generated based on History Channel a dengue fever for one of the dengue fever, and then it has actually shown me based on my selection 205 videos are being used, are being targeted. So of course there's other, such as individual as well, and such. So once it's done, you can actually view the videos, such as like I did for Lego. So you can actually see the videos that is being targeted based on this list. So for Lego, we all know that it's more of a children kind of target audience and such. So you will notice that the target that we are putting in is actually more towards like say children related, the content that's children driven, a little bit of Lego information on it, and of course from there we can actually take a look at what are the targets that we have the results of the entire videos that has been targeted. And from here we can also generate the word clouds that you want for your client and let your client know that what are the targets that we are doing. So we can also generate the word cloud. So this is actually the list, the results from all the websites. So if you notice that this is what we can target in YouTube. These are the target ones that are listed as brand safe. So these are all the content that's more towards children related and such. And of course there's also content. such as like these are some of the contents that's proved that YouTube do not allow us to target because they might be targeting at solely children. So when you hover around it, you will actually see these are some of the block content based on the words that's being used in the description. And we can also generate the word clouds. So if you notice, this is actually the word cloud. So in like example that you want to see that how in-depth you can go into, we can actually say click onto it, say animation film. So when we click and retrieve more the topics, right, the topics will show us more in-depth into another level. So the in-depth level will actually show you these are actually some of the content that is being targeted that is suitable for your particular client, such as like Lego, they do have in Despicable Me, Toy Story, Batman vs. Robin, etc. So from there, we can actually go back to the profile and you can actually showcase to the client. They can select and deselect the kind of content that they want to target for their particular YouTube campaign. My presentation has come to the end. I hope that my presentation has given you a slightly more in-depth understanding of what Ad Parlor can offer for your campaigns. If possible, you can actually share a brief with me, and my team and I will actually try to guide you through the use of Ad Parlor. Do you have any questions? If not, you have my contact details, my name card, so please feel free to buzz me for a chat or drop me an email on your brief, and we'll give you we'll see how we can help you with your campaign. Thank you very much. Have a good day.